Ladies and gentlemen, good morning to you all. Thank you for coming to the show. Thank you also to the host, FHOS plus PNG. I think it's a great way to get all the stakeholders together and showcasing the different types of products and services they offer in the industry. For this morning, I will be sharing with you some of the experiences that we've had so far in contributing towards the growth of the sector. For those who had attended my presentation on Thursday last week down at Mosby Chambers for the breakfast, I guess it will be a bit of repetition, but I'll be using the same sort of discussions. Okay, so I'll be sharing with you the experiences that we've had in this particular program. You all know, probably some may not know, we have entered into a partnership with the government. Well, firstly, I must say, thank you to the government for having the foresight in developing that particular partnership. Through that partnership, we were able to develop one of the cheapest product that is out there on the shelf today, selling. And for government, seeing the real need of Papua New Guineans, working Papua New Guineans out there who's living in a settlement or with the wantoks or in the village coming to work, I think that has been the major challenge that they wanted to address. So they worked with us. The government came over to the bank to work with us to develop this particular program. So we've seen a rapid growth in the market for BSP First home loan product. This is largely driven by the LNG construction phase, during the construction phase, and also accelerated by the product that we've developed together with the government. This particular product, as I've said, I'll touch on a little bit later during my presentation, but it has, it's the cheapest, doing 40 years, 4% interest rate, 10% equity, and that's the cheapest at the moment amount compared to other commercial banks are doing today. The other growth we've seen that the growth has continued in most part of 2018, as seen on the graph on my left. So far we've got a total portfolio of 597 customers who have already funded the loan. We have a book balance of over 200 million already funded out to the customers. And the interest is still growing. The interest is still growing. There's been a number of challenges that we've encountered. And I think one of the major challenges that we've had is the accessibility of serviced land. Papua New Guinea, we have almost about 97% of the land is still under customary ownership. Only 3% has been alienated to the state. Big Block ground and Stabilo Papa ground, Namama ground. Only 3% is gone to the state. So accessibility to serviced land, also water, power, road access, sewage, that has been lacking. So that has been the major challenge we've seen so far. And it also hinders on, some other, infrastructure development programs and expansion of business opportunities as well. The other challenge we've seen, apart from the FX challenges for those who are importing building materials, we've seen that the conveyance, time of settlement, or go on double lands department of welcome sets. That aspect has got a lot of challenge. The files are either missing or misfiled. And today we got about 147 customers who got loan already approved, but pending settlement. Because the files are missing, we can't locate it. That has been also a major impediment in this particular program. Some opportunities that we are seeing for the employer, I think it's their participation will promote personal wealth, growth of personal wealth for the workforce. The workforce don't need to depend on employer providing accommodation all the time. Their participation in this program will, over a period of time, they will have gained the wealth. It also promotes long-term retention for skilled and experienced workforce, making savings on huge rental costs on properties. And I think government should also expand the land mobilization into other centers of the country, like Leh, Rabaul, Mandhagan, Goroka, or Kimbe, or Wewak. Government should continue to mobilize those undeveloped lands, some maybe farmland or any land that has been owned by a state, sitting there idle doing nothing. They should continue to expand the land mobilization program, just like what they're doing over at Geru. If you drive along Geru, from Geru down to 9 Mile, you see there's a work being undertaken and it's continuing. So in that program, government is actually developing the land, putting the road infrastructure in, water and sewage, power access, and then dividing the land allotments, issuing them titles, and making it available for employed, those who are in the workforce, and in the income, can participate on this program. So you'll be given that title. And the bankers, like BSP, will come in and do the financing. That's the program that we are having at the moment. So that program should continue if we are to see more Papua New Guineans participation in this particular exercise. So roads is one of them. We have a lot of other housing developers that we have relationship with, we engage with through sales referral programs. Or at Glory Estate or the Kennedy Estate, 2G, down at the LNG site, you got the Edai town there. So there's a lot of developers that are developing the houses, our land, processing the land and building up houses. So they have different types of product range. And also they use different pricing model for each product. So the customers, talk with them. We got no control over that. Once they agree on the price on a particular product, they come to the bank. And we do the assessment and do financing arrangements. So there's a number of participants that we work with. I think the future prospect remains positive and is expected to grow. If the loan talked about Papua LNG or the Wafu gold project down in Morobe kicks off, I think we will see another big push in the marketplace. And that's prospect that we are seeing. Also, the private sector participation remains active and is expected to grow. We also see younger generation from the age of 30 to 40 years old, Papua New Guineans more and more are coming to participate in this program. So that's another indicator that we are seeing, and it will only grow from there. Now, as I've said, products 40 years term for the loan, 4% fixed interest rate. So it's Yuxim loan des house loan, and 40 years fixed 4% all the way. 10% equity, and that makes it a lot cheaper on the marketplace today. Now, this particular product is purposely to assist family units have a reasonable home, a good home. It is strictly for buying a newly built home or to erect a new home on a government state land. The loan limits 400,000 from 200 up to 400,000. If you go past that 400,000, we will consider that still. We will consider under different home loan product. But for this particular product, the maximum is 400,000. And by the way, this is not a government guarantee scheme. Government is mobilizing deposit funds, and BSP is adopting a commercial approach in discounting a lot of the fees associated to finance the customers for a longer term. So that's something that sort of sometimes we have misunderstandings out there. So it is not a guarantee scheme. For many Papua New Guineans, owning a home is a dream. And if any of the organizations, right now, if there are any employers out there, have this scheme in place, we are BSP is keen to, have established a relationship with those organizations and provide cheaper finance for the workforce. This also applies to the individuals, those who are working, having income, and you own housing allowance, and living in a company provided accommodations. This is the opportunity to, come and talk to us. We'll be around here today. I've got business cards here. Get connected with me, or Kanawi Chapiu is at the back, is our home loan manager. So connect with us, and we will help you to realize your dream. No age limits. No age limits. Now this particular product, as I've said, is specifically to help house the family units. So if someone, around the age of 60 applies for a loan, as long as that 60-year-old person is meeting all the requirements, they go through that loan. And if they pass on, Papa or Mama Lusigo, the first thing that the bank will do is to look at who the next member of the family who is employed and in an income. We will transfer the asset to that next person, and they continue to carry the responsibility, so they don't lose the asset. The family continues to stay in the house, and as long as they are servicing that loan. So, no age limits. So Kanawe and I will be around here, and we'd like to connect with you. For those who are employed, you are earning a housing allowance, but you haven't bought a house. This is your opportunity. Roads, for the product they talked about 200,000 or 260,000 for a house. This product, the maximum is 400,000. So you can think about it, ever thought about it, and let us know. All right, so that is my very quick presentation.